Ask a narcissist about their past and they will tell you everything was fine. Their childhood was perfect. They never caused trouble or made any mistakes. They never got caught. The story sounds rehearsed because it is. You see, narcissists rewrite their own history into a highlight reel where they are either the hero or the misunderstood victim. What you do not hear is what they did in secret when nobody was watching, what they buried, what they will never admit, not even to themselves. Narcissists do not just lie about who they are, they lie about who they always have been. They paint their past like a fairy tale, always the bigger person or the savior. But that story is not the truth, it is a cover-up. Because if you ever knew the real secrets, the raw, disturbing, unspeakable things they did when no one was looking, you wouldn't just leave them. No, you would be terrified of them. This is about exposing the darkness they have buried, the kind they do not even talk about in therapy, no matter how self-aware they are, the kind that leaves you breathless when you realize they were never innocent to begin with. So stay until the very end. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. The topic for today's episode is 8 disturbing secrets narcissists hide about their past. Let's get started with number 1. They mimicked emotions by thoroughly studying others. Long before you ever met them, the narcissist had already figured out how to perform empathy. Not to feel it or understand it, no, just perform it like a rehearsed role in a play. Real emotions never developed the way they were supposed to. Maybe due to emotional neglect, maybe due to extreme conditioning, maybe obsession with power or just genetics. What most people do not know is that a lot of narcissists spent their formative years watching others like a scientist studying a specimen. They observed how people reacted in love, grief, joy, sadness, and then mimicked it to fit in. This is called predatory camouflaging. Behind every sweet smile, there was a cold calculation. Behind every I love you, there was rehearsed delivery. They watched movies to copy how people cry. They mirrored classmates' responses to tragedies. They even practiced tones and facial expressions like puppeteers. And by the time they got to you, they were masters of disguise. Number 2, they bullied someone mercilessly in childhood. This is a story they will never ever admit, ever. Because it shatters the illusion of being the victim of their past or being a good person. What many narcissists do not tell you is that they were the bully always. They singled out a weaker kid. They mocked, humiliated, and psychologically tortured someone at school, in the neighborhood, or even at home, and enjoyed it. Statistics apply, you see, because power, even at a young age, gave them a high. And they learned something vital. Cruelty makes them feel alive. They do not talk about how they told another child to harm themselves, or how they played innocent when that kid cried for help, or how they blamed their target for being too sensitive. It wasn't a one-time event, it was a pattern, and that pattern grew into their personality. It's who they are now. The difference, now they are more covert, more polished, and with a far more believable smile. Number 3, they abandoned a pet just to feel in control. A lot of narcissists have a history with animals that reveals their core. They may talk about their love for pets today, but the truth is that they abandoned, neglected, or even hurt an animal in their past. Not because they didn't know better, of course not, but because they did, and they wanted to feel superior. They may have given away a loyal dog because it annoyed them, let a pet starve just to punish a family member, or forgot about an animal on purpose to see what would happen. That's quite psychopathic. Control isn't just something they seek in humans, it is wired into them. And if they could discard something so innocent once, it means they never truly learned what love is. Number 4, they faked illnesses in childhood to gain sympathy and manipulate adults. Most people lie once or twice as kids, but for narcissists, lying about illness wasn't a phase. It was their earliest weapon. They learned to feign pain, dizziness, fevers, even fainting spells to gain power over their environment. Why? Well, because they craved attention, feared abandonment, or wanted to escape consequences. Because they're cowards. They would convince teachers to excuse them, manipulate parents into favoring them, even pit siblings against each other with lines like, "Why don't you care for me like they do?" And when the tactic worked, that was their moment of awakening. Illness equals control. Sympathy equals survival. Now fast forward to adulthood, and suddenly every narcissist you have ever known has mysterious ailments no doctor can confirm. The origin was not physical ever, it was psychological. And it began the day they learned how to play victim to win. Number 5, they manipulated authority figures to gain favor and dodge consequences. The narcissist learned early that adults aren't always wise, they're manipulable. So they weaponized charm. They were the kid who never got caught, the one who always had the perfect excuse, the one teachers praised while classmates rolled their eyes in disgust. Behind the scenes, they had already begun grooming authority figures. They acted polite, helpful, gifted, and even pretended to care. And if they were caught doing something wrong, they would fake tears, blame someone else, or twist the story until even you questioned what really happened. By the time they were teenagers, this became a reflex. Charm the boss, manipulate the therapist, flirt with a cop. They learned how to weaponize likability and how to make the truth disappear under a well-rehearsed lie. Number 6, they destroyed a sibling's prized possession. Why? Well, out of jealousy. Sibling rivalry is quite common, but narcissists go further. They intentionally destroy the things others love. Of course, not out of clumsiness or immaturity, but out of pure envy. They saw their sibling being praised for a trophy, so they snapped it in half. They saw a parent lovingly put up a drawing on the fridge, so they crumpled it when no one was looking. They watched their brother sleep with a stuffed toy and they tossed it in the garbage just to see them cry. These acts were not just about jealousy. They were early displays of a destructive streak, the need to emotionally wound others to soothe their own insecurity. And years later, that pattern never stopped. Only now, it is your jewelry, your work, your birthday, your peace that they sabotage, because someone else's happiness still feels like an attack to them. Number 7, the practiced fake crying in the mirror. It sounds almost cinematic, but it's real. There are narcissists who literally stood in front of a mirror practicing how to cry, how to make their face tremble, how to get their voice to crack, how to appear human. This sounds scary, but as I said, it's real. They knew they lacked emotional depth and they feared being exposed. So instead of cultivating empathy, they rehearsed pain. They would think of something sad, squint their eyes, maybe pinch their skin to make the tears come. And they would watch, adjust, and perfect. This wasn't just play acting, this was the construction of a weapon. Because the day they figured out how to perform heartbreak, they could manipulate anyone, including you. Number 8 and the last one, they confessed their real self to someone and then punished them for knowing it. There was one moment, maybe as a teenager or in their early 20s, when the narcissist let someone see who they really were, without any masks or lies, just raw truth. It may have been a girlfriend, a best friend, a boyfriend, a cousin, someone they felt oddly safe with. And for a split second, they told the truth. They admitted they felt empty, or that they liked hurting others, or that they lied a lot and didn't feel guilt. But once that person saw through them, the narcissist turned against them. Not because they were betrayed, they put it that way, but because they could not stand being seen without the mask. So they punished the witness, they ghosted them, slandered them, and humiliated them. Because nothing enrages a narcissist more than someone who knows the truth, who speaks the truth. This is why they never open up again. Because they're scared of being known. They're scared of being seen as they are, totally rotten, and full of shame. All in all, I would say the narcissist was not born overnight. They were built piece by piece, secret by secret, every disturbing memory buried like a landmine beneath their smile. So, if you ever wonder why they feel so cold and calculated, now you know. It is not about what they have shown you, it's about what they have hidden. They did not just hurt people in their adulthood, they started long before you ever met them. And they have been perfecting the performance ever since. That is what you must accept if you want to let the healing begin and continue. That was it for today's episode. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, take care of yourself and be well.